Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ready Steady Play.
Good to see you.
It's Mike and Ollie. We're here doing 1066, Tears to Too Many Mothers.
Sounds exciting.
Yes, I think it will be. It's a historical battle.
Which is interesting because, foregone conclusion, you would expect, but maybe we can turn it around.
Right, so this will be, what we are is reenacting history and maybe changing the events of history, possibly. I mean, for me, this will be a bit different for me than it will be for you because I don't know. Fuck all. I was trying to decide.
I can do words.
I was like, how long are we into the episode yet? Because I'm supposed to wait like a good few minutes before I start swearing.
Like 40 seconds in.
I don't know why that's a rule. I think that's just a YouTube etiquette thing. But yeah, I don't know shit about about history, whereas Ollie does. So he'll be able to tell me whether or not we're abiding by the rules of the actual, or abiding by the actual events of history.
Yeah. Well, let's hope I get them right, because otherwise I'm probably going to have a very angry history teacher of medieval English history. But I like to think I know what I'm talking about, and if not, I'm going to fake it so well he's not going to know the difference.
So for those of you who haven't seen this is a recent Kickstarter from All or Nothing Productions. And All or Nothing Productions is Tristan Hall's board game company. Their first game was designed by Tristan Hall. It was Gloom of Kilforth, which we played on the channel. You might have seen it, Michael and I, and Andrew for a point. Wandering around Kilforth and trying to defeat the ancient evil. This is his follow-up design, 1066. It's a two-player card game that's a dueling card game that mimics, to some extent, games like Magic the Gathering, the LCGs from Fantasy Flight games like the Game of Thrones card game. Is it just called Game of Thrones, the living card game?
I believe it is.
Yeah. And also their Android Netrunner, which is now defunct, although Android Netrunner is actually quite unique. So maybe that's not a good comparison. But also something like Keyforge.
Yeah.
The thing that's sort of unique about 1066 is that aside from the fact that you've got two armies, the Normans and the Saxons.
Or the good guys and the bad guys, as we should be referring to them from now on.
Well, I think that's interesting about history, because you've obviously said that as a joke, but are they really good guys and bad guys? It wasn't that clear cut, was it?
Well, in terms of one side was invading and the other wasn't, you can make a fairly good argument.
Well, that's true. So the Normans were the invaders. On the other hand, William had a legitimate claim to the throne, didn't he?
Well, legitimate.
Why did you do that?
Because there's a lot of events where he kind of forced the hand, and him being
So you think he was manipulating things?
Well, him being illegitimate meant he had no right to anything. At the time, he's William Fitzrobert, because he was a bastard son of the former Duke of Normandy. He had no legitimate claim at the time to anything, even the Dukedom of Normandy. Like, as the rules stood, he shouldn't have had anything. Whether or not you believe that's a good idea, I'm pretty sure we've moved on since medieval mindset. But
so you're saying that we're not going to find a lot of evangelists for what's the word here?
Legitimacy at birth.
I was going to say like hereditary government.
Yeah.
That's the term for that. Monarchy? I don't know.
That's one of the terms for it.
So bad at. But a monarchy is when the head of state is passed down through hereditary birth.
or declaration.
Or declaration.
Which is sort of the key of this point, because Harold's whole claim to fame was a deathbed nomination for the throne, which was looked at the time as the most holy thing you could possibly do, because you're about 30 seconds from meeting God. Unfortunately, or fortunately, he was the only person in the room at the time, so he kind of got to say what he wanted. And William did not agree with him. Partly because a few years earlier, Harold had been shipwrecked in Normandy and had been rescued, with, again, air quotation marks, by William. Rescued at Spear Point, and had agreed to support his claim to the throne. But you know how he felt about that? Because he took the throne himself.
Yeah, so he'd obviously felt like maybe the Spear Point rescue was a bit of coercion.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
But, so there's a...
History's complicated, man.
Well, history's written by the winners, and ironically at this time, we've got 3 records of it. One of them was from his side, and 2 of them was from Harold's side.
Right.
And they all disagree, because history. It's really funny how much they disagree.
That's really funny. Even they can't even agree how the battle sort of ended, can they? Just that William won it.
Yeah, they can't agree on how Harold died. They can't agree on directly what happened. There's a big thing about, did they run away and then regroup, or did he have a masterful plan? So, history.
History. Well, back to the world of games.
Yes.
Similar to Magic the Gathering, 2-player dueling game. It says here it takes 30 to 40 minutes. We'll see about that. Everything takes longer when we make the show, though, so don't take the length of the show as a testament to that. But the game is sort of 2 phases. One where we're going through these objective cards, building up armies, and trying to create a tableau that will put us in the best stead to win the Battle of Hastings, which is sort of the second phase of the game. It's also the shorter phase.
Yep.
But we will... Whoever arrives at the Battle of Hastings first can sort of get a bit of a head start on the other person. So we're trying to keep these objectives roughly equal, but they're set up to be historical events in the order that these events occurred in history. Yeah. And you can play a variant where the middle events are sort of shuffled to change up the variation there, add more variability to the game, replayability. But if you're a history buff, you'll probably want to play these in the correct order.
Which is why we're playing them in the correct order.
Exactly. So there are a few variants to the game, but I'll talk about those as they come up. We are playing with one, but not all. We are playing with 2 of them. The variant we're not playing with is the random order of objectives.
Yes, because I had a bit of a conniption.
Halley's Comet must be the first objective, and the Battle of Hastings must be the last objective, always.
Yes.
And with that in mind, I will start as first player because I'm the Normans. We already decided this. I would be the invader because I'm also the Canadian here, and you will be the Harold, the King of England, because you are English.
Damn Frenchman.
Damn Frenchman. Yeah. Except if I try to speak French, it just sounds... Well, I sound like I'm a Quebecois. From Quebec. So
yeah. I was going to say, how much French do you actually speak? Because
only the swear words. So
something's carried across the ocean well.
Maybe I'll start swearing when you start playing those annoying cards that mess up my army.
Oh, you mean like making you discard cards from your hand?
Exactly. Those things. Or killing off my resource characters. So the first thing that happens during setup is that I'm going to pick a wedge to put William down in. I think that happens before we draw cards.
I'm pretty sure. But you get to go first anyway, so...
Yeah, I get to go first anyway. And I'm just going to go in the middle wedge, I think, because I have no reason not to do that. Now, what's interesting about this is that Ollie gets to react. And whether Ollie faces off against William with Harold will be a big deal.
And I'm not going to, because I want to see what happens when we don't.
So we've played a couple of games where they've been facing off against each other, and now they're not. So this is going to be interesting. An interesting change. All right, cool. And now that we've done that, we draw 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. And play begins.
Dun dun dun, with the cheating Frenchman first.
4 cards. I have 3. Cheating Frenchman first. Yep, so now what's interesting about this is that we're playing a slight variation. So the first turn begins with discard down to 6 cards, but we only have 4, so that's fine. And then the instructions tell you to draw 2. But you can play a variant where you draw 3 or 4 and then discard extra cards. So we're going to play a variant where we draw 3 and then discard 1, but we discard 1 from our whole hand. And this mechanic allows us to sort of tailor our hands a bit. It gives us an extra choice, which is interesting. So we thought this would be a cool variant to play with. So we'll draw 3 more. So we've got 7 and then discard 1. Oh, I don't like any of these.
All right, well, you're going first, so I get time to think.
Yeah, and I seem to... All right, some of these are really good.
Yep, these are really, really good.
Oh, well, that sucks. Because when I say really good, what I mean is I've got no resources. Resources are really tough. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by...
What are you going to do?
Oh,
what you going to do? What you going to do? In this first round is kind of a buy for both of us because the objective is instantly discarded at the end of the round. But if you notice when we were showing you the cards... we have these stats on the left that we have to beat in order to fulfill the objective, and the conditions of them are asymmetrical. So my conditions are I'm at war because I'm defending the realm from the other invaders, whereas Mike's are about diplomacy and setting up the invasion of England. So you'll see we've got very different objective conditions to reach, but it will get to the point of our conditions will flip. And then mine will stop costing me people, and his will start costing him his. So we'll see if that makes a big difference to his strategy.
Ooh. Yeah, the amount I have to actually accommodate for that is... It can be a big... So you've got to think about it enough to be able to adjust for it, but not think about it so much that you let it throw your whole play. So with this in mind, I'm going to I'm just going to discard this man. I'm going to deploy these Breton swordsmen, who are just a pretty basic unit. 2 might, 1 wound.
But they are agile.
And they are agile, so they can move around the wedges. But I'm just going to stick them up here for now, because that's fine. I'm going to discard Robert Fitzurns to play for them. I don't know who he is. It says, has the dubious honour of being one of the very few to have been recorded by the Normans as slain at Hastings.
Confirmed casualty.
Yeah, but we don't know who he is. He was notable because we had a note of him, right? And so,
in all fairness, he has the equivalent of was ear in the annals of history. So more than most.
I've got 1 unit down.
Yep.
And then that's my 1 action. So
did you discard your card?
I did. Yep. That was Robert. So it's over to you.
Of the initial draw. You drew 3. Did you discard 1?
Oh, fuck, I didn't. Of course I didn't. Sorry. Thank you. I got so hung up on what I was actually playing that I forgot to also discard a card. No,
I figured that might have been it because I've not discarded 1 either. Which is what made me think, I've got 7 cards in my hand. Something's wrong.
God, we're already getting ahead of ourselves. This is what happens when we start chit-chatting about history and things. We get distracted. It's not...
I'm discarding this one.
Yeah, fair enough.
For the sake of. And,
ooh, she's nice.
But she's discarded.
Look at the art. The art is great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of this artist. She was the same one who did Gloom of Kilforth, and she's just incredible.
Come on. Analysis paralysis. Discard your card that should have been discarded first.
Right. This man. Bye-bye.
Cool. So that's your turn up then?
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to play Ilgid of Mercia, the Christian wife of Harold, because she generates resources, which is this little green one here. So she's going behind Harold. And for that, I am discarding Bloodlust.
Cool.
Because, nothing really ends Bloodlust so much as a marriage.
And then I'm going to pass.
Fair enough. I am going to exhaust her.
Tire her.
Tire her?
It's called tiring.
Okay, but she's exhausted. Actually, I'm going to put them there. The Saxon Axemen.
So you got some Saxon Axemen?
Saxmen.
And it says, move this card to... So they're agile as well. And they're 2 might and 1 wound.
Yeah, they are essentially the same as your dudes.
My Breton swordsman.
And I'm going to pass after that.
Great. So I passed first, so I keep the token here.
Cheeky
and then
Frenchman.
We both check our objective. We've both got basically the same objective, which is Halley's Comet.
Yep.
And it says this objective is automatically done, and then you move on to the next one.
Yep. So I move on to the Battle of Fulford Gate.
And so this is considered a good omen for my deal here. What's yours say?
Oh, you've come, have you? You've come, you source of tears to many mothers. You evil! I hate you. It is long since I saw you, but as I see you now, you are much more terrible, for I see you brandishing the downfall of my country. I hate you.
Who are these people?
People who fought at Hastings and really didn't like each other.
Aylmer of Malmesbury.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the name, which made me laugh. I love the amount of venom in that sentence.
Mine just says we thought this was a good thing for our, I hate you.
Frenchman. It's quite surprising how venom-filled that is.
Okay, so now that we're done that, we begin a new round. So we discard down to 6, then we draw 3, and then we discard 1.
Yep. Oh, there's some good stuff here I don't want to get rid of.
Me too, but I'm going to get rid of this guy here, Roger de Montgomery. He's good, but he's also expensive, and I have no good resources at the moment. So
yeah, for the same reason, I'm getting rid of Edwin, who is also expensive but good. This is the thing that's surprising. How often you'll get a good card that you can't use because it's too early.
Well, this part of the game is all about sort of hand and space management.
Yeah.
You have to be very thinky about it.
Come on, Frenchman.
All right, cool. So it's me to go first.
I'm really waiting for him to start swearing at me in French because I won't know what he's saying other than the really basic ones. Oh yeah, unexhausted. Untired. Which happens at the second part of the start of the round after we've drawn our cards.
Yeah, ready. All right, so I actually don't need these people anymore. I was saving them to do something with. And now I don't need them anymore. All right, I need some mother flippin' zeal here.
Mother flipper.
Mother flippin'. I'd like to keep that. I'd like to keep that. That means these 2 have to go.
Oh no, I'd like to keep all of these.
So I'm going to discard. I'm not going to discard. I'm going to play Prayer and Confessing, which are just prayer beads that give me +1 zeal to a unit. So I'm just going to play them to the Breton swordsman. So they get +1 zeal, and I've discarded the Norman horseman in order to do that.
Do you know what? One of the reasons why the Normans felt they were so on side with God?
Nope.
He sought papal support for the invasion, and the Pope was convinced that the English clergy were so bad at what they were doing that he basically got given religious authority to invade England.
Woo!
And do you know why? There was a rumour going around that all of the clergy had kids and wives, which at this time was a huge no-no. And, still is if you're a Catholic priest, because...
Married to God!
Yeah, but it's funny because...
God doesn't believe in polyamory.
No, just having children and being married as a priest. But the thing was...
but you're married to God. You can't have another wife.
This was the priests. Who's the wife in that situation?
God! They're married to God. And they don't believe in homosexuality.
Anyway.
My understanding of religion's a bit weird.
Yeah, I was going to say. But it was no worse than the rest of Europe. It was just a really bad pretext for it. Okay, so I'm going to play Stigand, the Archbishop of Canterbury. So I'm going to put him down there, and I'm going to tire...
You've got all the resource people.
I'm also going to get rid of the chosen heir to pay for that. This is not good for you.
This is not good for me. Right. As much as I would like to go ahead and just start...
also, I draw a card for Learned.
Oh, God damn it. This is not a good start for me, guys.
It's a great start for me.
Yeah. I don't... Okay. Right, so now I'm going to play Nicholas, the Abbot of St. Owen, who's a Norman and a clergyman. He'll just go down up here, I think, in this wedge for now.
Got a very, very righteous left flank going on.
And I'm going to discard Tostig's invasion in order to pay for him.
I do love that some of your flavour text involves the other invasion of England.
Yeah, but that's because all the other people you were fighting helped me.
No, they didn't. They were a contender for the throne.
No, but they were draining your resources and distracting you, and that's helpful for me.
But it's funny, because if we'd have lost Fulford Gate and Stamford Bridge, we would literally... It wouldn't have been Harold versus William. It would have been Harald versus William. Very different kettle of fish.
Over to you.
All right, so I'm going to exhaust the Archbishop of Canterbury, because reasons. And I'm going to play the Crowning at Westminster. So... Plus,
onto the Saxon Axeman.
Nope, sorry, I was looking in the wrong place. Onto Harold, because he's now got a crown.
So +1 zeal for Harold.
Yep. And you've passed, have you?
Well, no, but I'm passing now.
Okay, I'm going to pass as well.
Awesome. So back to now we do the objective phase, which we've been skipping up to this point.
Because it didn't matter?
Yeah. So I am the first player, so I'll check mine first. So I've got 2 zeal up here, and 3 zeal on William, which gives me 5. This has 3 zeal on it here at the War Council of Rouen. So Rowan. So I've got exceeded by 2, so I put 2 down on here, and I need to get to 6.
Cool. And likewise, I'm doing the Battle of Fulford. So I have to -2 from the might that I'm spending, which essentially is the Axeman. And then I add 3 for Harold. So halfway there.
Excellent. And then it's back to the top, so we discard down to 6 and draw 3.
Do. And untire. Ready.
I'm going to discard Alan Rufus.
I have some really good cards that I don't want to discard, but I'm going to have to.
Yeah, me as well.
I'm going to discard Magnet's Support. Because I can't afford that for a very long time.
Oh, it's so good.
I know.
Magnet's Support. Yeah, you've got a much better deal going on there than I do.
Yep. I'm not sure how.
Resource cards. That's all right. So then I get to play first.
Yep.
And I'm going to pass.
Fair enough. Okay. I am going to... So I'm going to play... Where is he? Godric, the Sheriff and Lord of Fifehide. So he's going to go down into... Yeah, he's going to go into here. So he is learned, so I draw a card. And I exhausted those 2 for him. And you've passed, so I have another go.
Mm-hmm. Ollie will continue until he chooses to pass.
Indeed. Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
So, Godric, who is the sheriff and lord of Fifehide, was famous for his model airplane collection at the time.
Okay. So I'm going to do something that Mike's not going to like because it just sounds awesome. So I am going to play this card, Stamford Bridge Plunder, which has an action to allow me to play a unit for free. So I'm going to discard a card to do that. So 2 cards there. And I'm going to put down the Earl of East Anglia, who is going to go here.
Yeah, so he's very good.
Actually, do I want him here or here? This is the thing, though. You can instant nuke things. So I'll put him there.
You can instant nuke things.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so that's me then. And I'm passing after that, so you've already passed.
Yep, so we're back to the top of the next round. So
yep.
Discard down to 6. I've got 4, so I'm all right.
Objectives.
Oh, yeah, shit.
So I'm well beating this.
Yeah, and I've got 2 down here.
Yep.
So you've got a lot of might on the table, is that right?
So I -2 to the might, so that's going to be 4, 6, 9, 11.
Yep.
But I am going to lose a guy for having finished this, which is a bit annoying.
So you have to give up one of your units on the table.
That'd be the Saxon Axemen, unsurprisingly.
So the rest of your characters fall into place.
The Archbishop's on the front line. You know,
right.
where they should be. Oh. I don't want to lose any of these.
Interesting.
Difficult.
Difficult indeed.
Alright, I am discarding the archers. Oh, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really want to get rid of any of these either, but I think I really have to start getting rid of some shit.
I've had to get rid of some awesome cards, but I've also had some incredibly good luck.
Well, that's alright. There's the game has a way of balancing itself.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, to be honest.
Oh, this is a tough one. I think I have to get rid of this guy. He's really cool. He's cool. He's got a combo, which is really nice.
William Everett.
Yeah, but he's also expensive, and he's not going to help me in my current situation.
Fair.
And then I get to play first.
Yep, that you do.
That I do. So, my first play is to throw down Ivor.
Oh, balls.
Tailifer, he's a lunatic minstrel.
Yep.
Legend has it that at the Battle of Hastings began with an insane minstrel bravely and single-handedly attacking the Saxon lines, and he was quickly dispatched.
Yep. My wife is in danger, is she not?
I might be sending my lunatic minstrel to kick a suicide mission to kill your wife.
Yep. Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to tire her.
You're tiring your wife, are you?
Shut up. I'm going to play this guy. Thurkill White, the Thane of Kingston. That's right, Kingston had a Thane. Saxon Danish noble. And he's going to use Marksman.
No.
Yeah.
So you can just deal 1 damage to anyone on the board. And you're going to take out Ivor?
Yep.
That's fair enough.
I did have another plan for him, but, you know, that was a dangerous... I do love that he's like a shirtless wonder. Just like, I will come, I will throw an axe at you.
That is funny. Alright, so...
I have mangling history at this point, but you know what, screw it.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Well, do you want to have a full day to think about it? We can wait.
Fuck. This is really bad, dude. Alright, I can pull this back. There's a way. These things have a way of working out. You guys will see. You'll see.
Let's change history. Ow. Stop doing that.
We'll see you all tomorrow for part 2
of the
Saxon 1066 victory. Battle of Hastings. Changing up history. Yeah, Ollie, stop throwing history out the window, damn it, and let me win.
No. I am a time traveller. I get to do this.
What? This is not anachrony.
I have knowledge of the future and I'm changing things.
If your knowledge of the future is good draw, then yes. Knowledge of your deck order.
I did nothing that you can prove.